Welcome everybody to Apex Racing TV and to the World GT Championship with Racehub and Simmortal. My name is Andrew Woodhouse and I'm joined by Adam Bath. And Adam, mate, it is a new circuit for Apex Racing TV. Well, at least for me and possibly for you as well.
Yeah, I think we were here last night for the BSR Grand Tour, but we're here for the World GT Championship today. Bumper size grid again. Got told that it provided quite a lot of good racing last night, plus it was worthy of a YouTube highlight video getting posted as well. So I think we could be in for a very interesting evening.
It definitely seemed like it. It being the Belle circuit, the Detroit Grand Prix in the United States. Of course, not the one that hosted the United States Grand Prix in years past. That was in downtown Detroit, but this is a little across the way there. We might see the Detroit skyline in the distance at certain points this evening. It looks like pole position's gone to... have we got the grid actually, Adam?
Yeah,
I
just
don't know if mine is actually correct or not on my screen. So the British Touring Car Champion is the one who's on pole position, Ash Sutton, in the CQR Club BMW. And he'll be heading Johnny Brandon in the XVR Sim racing car. Nico Foggy is third with Josh Thompson in fourth. Dave Baker in fifth place. And sixth is Anwar Burwell-Smith. Seventh is Richard Warmingham. Dion Phillips is in eighth. Ninth is Steve Baxter. 10th is Jake Blackhall. Richard Gufenko is in 11th. He's third in the championship. And Andy Shield is 12th in car 007. And then as we go down the field, Stuart McFadden in 13th, Ben Gregory 14th, Miguel Freitas 15th, 16th Christian Rose, 17th is Nicolo Cuomo, then Bart Dowman in 18th, 19th Pete Harrod, and 20th Chris Wood. 21st goes to Pete Harrod with 19th goes to Pete Harrod with Chris Wood in 20th, Kieran Roach in 21st, Craig Evans 22nd, Matteo Fellini in 23rd, 24th is Matt Bunn, 25th is Simon Field, and Mark Woodhouse is in 26th. 27th goes to John Roberts, Lane O'Connor is 28th, and then looking down for the rest of the field then, behind them, you've got Adam Hedgecock in 29th, Michael Blake 30th, Ronald Moons 31st, 32nd is Lee Woodburn, 33rd Simon Underhill, then Lee Deemer in 34th, 35th is Robert Lundgren, 36th Jack Stiles, David White in 37th, 38th is Tiago Pereira, 39th Josh Rayfield, Jason Rowe is 40th, and then Luke Clark follows him in 41st, Stuart Atkinson 42nd, Gavin Wakefield in 43rd, Stephen Burke 44th, 45th, Matt Keeber, Scott Malcolm, Adam, is 46th.
Perfect timing then. So we've got just a few corners to go. We're heading around the back section of the circuit now. And then it's going to be a straight, flat-out run to the line. I think that's how it goes anyway. We'll be learning this track as it goes along. There's the safety car. I can just about see it heading into the pit lane. And now the field is in the hands of Ash Sutton and Johnny Brandon to get the race underway. And Sutton's going already.
There he comes then. Ash Sutton into turn one. Leading the way here at Belle Isle. Clear track in front of him and a track that you would think would suit the BMW. As they all file through. That's that very difficult crest where the safety car crashed in the IndyCar Grand Prix of Detroit.
Yeah, quite remarkable. Didn't they have the CEO of Chevrolet at the wheel?
Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, that was embarrassing. The Mercedes and Ferrari going side by side. We've said that quite a lot in 2018, and Ash Sutton's going slowly.
Oh, did already.
I wonder if he cut the. Oh wait. Was it Ash Sutton or was it someone else? It was a BMW, it was a yellow BMW going slowly. It was not Ash Sutton. It was, could have been Blackhall actually, Adam.
Ah, right, problem for Jake Blackhall then.
Potentially. But yeah, I wonder if he cut the course. There's a curb in, I think, turn 3 where the drivers could sort of jump across the inside of it. I imagine that's what's happened. That's the 888 boosted car of Stephen Baxter. He's having to defend from the Mercedes and Andy Shield.
Yeah, they're just coming into the double 90 now, and then they're going to be on the run back to the front straight. And looks like a pretty open race so far. Loads of close battles. Good to see the BMW looking pretty interesting here. I think it's a track that should suit it as we come across the line to complete the opening lap.
Should do indeed. I saw a tweet from... wall! Andy Shield! Andy Shield's in the wall, and that is the danger at Belle Isle, Adam, is that the walls are very, very close indeed.
Yeah, just having a look on the replay. Goes in a bit too deep and hits a tyre barrier. Fortunately for him, he doesn't hit too much more than that, and he's able to get back on his way, but a bit of damage to the front left. Yeah,
and he's lost out to the... he's lost out quite badly to the Ferrari of Phillips, I think.
Yeah, Phillips, I think. Yeah, Dion Phillips up in 6th place. Yeah, so yeah, Blackhall down to 9th, and Shield, yeah, as a result of that, has he dropped back even further? He might have even towed back to the pits. Yeah, he has. So too much damage for
must have been
the Shield to continue.
Well, it was a hard hit on the concrete wall, and yeah, it looks like the suspension's had enough on that car, and Sutton is wrestling the BMW through the tight confines then. The circuit here in Michigan.
Close
the 27 car now, we see Adam is Craig Evans.
Yeah, Craig Evans coming under pressure here. Looks like a bit of damage to his car as well. He's got Nicola Cuomo behind him going into the double 90. Very big battle group here. We've got Pete Harrod, we've got Chris Wood, we've got Fulini as well. All nose to tail these lot as they come across the line to complete the second lap.
I tell you what, it does look really exciting driving around this circuit. It's these big, powerful GT3 cars having to thread the needle. And yeah, we'll see it here. Oh, going very deep there into turn 3, and then turn 4 opens out somewhat into another 90 left at 5, and there'll be another 90 right at 6, and this is the part of the track now, Adam, where the drivers can really stretch their legs.
Yeah, fastest part of the circuit here, and a really good opportunity for the car behind to overtake. Just looking at from the back of Craig Evans here, looks like nobody's doing so here, but I can say there is movement further up the field. Very close there, getting on the brakes by Cuomo.
Oh, and he's got a little twitch on.
And look at that, he's offline.
And he's lost the rear. Here comes the BMW as well, of Pete Harrod. Oh, it's a crash.
Oh, this is a big one. Now, who's that? That is scrolling down the field. It's Jake
that's Richard Warmingham, is it?
Right,
in the Mercedes.
Replay of this. Jake Blackhall. Unfortunately, my screen's not big enough to get to the rewind 10 seconds, so it is going to be like rewinding the tape here to see what happened. Here we go.
Some Benny Hill music.
Up the inside, slow motion. Oh, it's the 774. It looks like that collides with him.
774.
Might have been Warmingham, actually.
I think it's Warmingham,
yeah,
I think.
It's 14. Yeah, it looked like a 7 for me. But yeah, that is Richard Warmingham XVR Green that collided with him. Well done to everybody for avoiding it.
Well, just about, yeah. And then he nearly goes back, but he ends up... Did Warmingham get going again?
They're both at the back. I think they're both at the back, though. Warmingham's in 44th.
So Sutton leads, Foggy 2nd, Brandon 3rd, Baker 4th, Smith in 5th, 6th is Phillips, and then 7th is Thompson, 8th Baxter, Gafencu 9th, and McFadden in 10th, with Gregory 11th. And I tell you, it looks like a good battle behind Stuart McFadden, Adam.
Oh, and this is close as well. This is Craig Evans, Pete Harrod, and Chris Wood. Stuart McFadden, yeah, you mentioned him. He's got 0.3 of a second between him and Gregory, it looks like, as well. So numerous close battles on the circuit. We're just looking here at the BMW of Pete Harrod, trying to find a way through here.
It's quite a long straight, that, isn't it, at the back of the circuit?
Don't know the precise length of it, as Fellini and Wood were pretty close. We'll go to McFadden now.
Oh, someone's had a problem. Someone's just had a problem there. It was a Ferrari. Was it Cuomo? Yeah, he just...
Let's see what happened. Get to the chopper.
Oh no, it was a Mercedes indeed. What's happened? Right. Turns it in on the curb. Oh, pogo. Bit of pogo there.
And a bit of a bump as well, yeah. Looks like he was heading for the pit lane but stayed out, and hopefully that doesn't affect him too much, because...
Well, he nearly ended up in there unintentionally.
Oh yeah, the iRacing live timing that we've got said that he was in the pit lane, but turns out he wasn't, so he went on for another lap. But here is Dion.
But we've all done that. Sorry, we've all done that at Lime Rock Park, though, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Don't ask.
Spun off coming on the last corner.
Don't ask Paul Smith about ending up in pit lanes by accident. Remember when he flipped over at Twin Rim Motegi on the oval and ended up in there?
I do.
Sorry, Paul.
I think I was in that. I think I was in that. Was I in that race? I think I was.
Might have been. I think you might have been led at one point.
I did. I didn't win though, unfortunately.
The lottery of those BSR TC ovals. Back in a bit of a throwback for you.
It was good. That was. Sutton leads by 8/10, and then at the moment, good battle between Baker and Smith. It looks like is brewing. Although it looks like Smith's just lost a bit of time, Adam. So maybe not so much.
It's 0.2 of a second between Stephen Baxter and Richard Kofenku as they. There we go. That's how close it is as they come out of the final corner through that right-hand kink and across the line. The brakes and the flames from the exhaust on the Beamer.
Yeah, the blue flames look fantastic, don't they? And that diffuser of the BMW trying to provide as much downforce as possible. It's probably the GT3 car with the most downforce. Up the inside goes the Youth Energy. And he's through.
Take that, he says. And what a great move.
Yeah.
A bit robust for GT racing, probably, you might admit. But yeah, he's through. Kofenku up into 8th place. 3 positions gained. And next up's Josh Thompson. He's 5 seconds up the road.
Well, you could argue that that's the kind of move that you've got to make on a street circuit. And yeah, he made it well. And
probably a move you've got to make in a race of this length. We are quickly approaching the halfway mark of this race. We've got 11 minutes to go.
Already? It's crazy.
And this is the battle between Dion Phillips in the Excite Racing car. Apologies, Dion, if that is not your paint, but I did download them all, so don't know what's going on there. And then Josh Thompson behind in the CQR and Fabrications car, the bright, unmistakable yellow of the CQR team as they come through the penultimate corner.
Well, I said to Alex the other night that they've let Josh join the team because they're sick of him crashing into them.
Well,
rather be with them than against them. Because I've missed the Mickey taking of Mr. Thompson, I must admit. Hello, Mr. Thompson.
I think he's talking to you. Right, coming into the back section of the circuit, this is where I remember watching a Grand Am race before it became the IMSA series from way back, about 5 or 6 years ago, and there was a huge wreck at this part of the circuit. A little clip of the wall there, perhaps, by Phillips, and that could open him up to attack from Thompson here as we go down the back straight. Mercedes versus BMW, something we'll see in Formula E next year, I think. Yeah,
he's just lost a bit of momentum, hasn't he? But you can see here that up the inside, he's lost more momentum now. Well, Phillips gets away with it and manages to stay in front of the BMW, so that's probably a little bit of justice potentially there. It's a kinked straight, isn't it? It reminds me of the Valencia street circuit.
Yeah, Mini Valencia. I don't know whether the people of Detroit was... Oh, I don't even know if they'd know where Valencia is. Apologies to... sorry, I watched a...
I love that circuit.
I watched the Jimmy Kimmel sketch where they asked people to point to Americans to point to countries on a map, and they did.
Oh dear, on it. Might need to point me in the direction of that later on. And but I tell you what, it's heating up at the front now. It's 0.6 of a second only between Sutton and Nicole Foggy, the former champion of this series, of course. Sutton a bit wide. Maybe not the best line through there, but away with it. For once, Adam Ash Sutton with a mostly... Oh, well, he's just hit the wall. I was going to say mostly clean car, and then he goes and does that.
Saw him rub the outside wall just there on the back straight on the opening lap. That's where the slight bit of damage to the front left's come from. But yeah, he's now gone and roughed up the front right.
You can tell he's really trying hard, though, can't you? Because he's really working those margins. This part of the course really does remind me almost of Adelaide.
Oh yeah, the Adelaide street circuit from even since F1 has stopped going there, the V8 supercars still go there.
Just with the grass sections around it. It's quite a nice place, this, actually. Look, when I've seen the pictures of it before, and it's set in a big, it's a private island essentially, isn't it? And it's set in a park, and yeah, it's quite a nice place for a motor race, really.
Yeah, look at this.
Oh, hello.
We've got Pete Harrod versus Craig Evans. That's him in the Northern Lights racing car. Then we've got one of the Team Mad cars. That's Chris Wood, who's gained 3 positions so far in this race. And it looks like that Harrod is a little bit eager to get past this Northern Lights racing Merc as we go through the penultimate corner.
Looks like a real staunch defence by Evans, doesn't it? Because they are now all queuing up behind him. There are only about, well, there are only 4 seconds between Evans in 15th and O'Connor in 24th.
Over the top of the hill then. I wish I could get the battle graphic up. I think it's just off the screen, so I can't get to it. But you can see it's pretty close as we get on the brakes. Baxter on the inside. Yeah, it's not Baxter, is it? It's Evans on the inside. And he's still...
Oh, now there could be an opening for the BMW, Adam. He's trying to get alongside. But again, you cannot... This is not a circuit where really you want to be going too wide through the corners, because simply just you will run out of room.
You can hear cars just touching the wall,
clipping the wall.
Looking from the rear of Craig Evans. 7 positions gained, but he could be in danger of losing one of them.
Well, the BMW's got some real speed now. You have to defend this, Evans, into the right-hander at turn 7.
It's very close for the lead, I should tell you. It's 1/10.
Oh, go on, let's have a look.
Here it is. Right then.
Oh, grass being kicked up by the Mercedes. And now Foggy's got a great opportunity. Down the back, down the, well, effectively the main straight here, really.
Going for it.
He's up the inside, he's... Oh, around the outside, sorry, he's Foggy. But Sutton doing a good job of just placing the car nicely, really. Not going too deep on the brakes, not overdriving it. Too often do drivers start to panic in this situation, but Ash Sutton, you know, he's won races in the British Touring Car Championship, of course. He's used to pressure.
Into the right-hander then, or into the left-hand kink, and then on the brakes. Not going for a move this time. Credit to Foggy. He has got a bit of time to suss out a move, and Sutton is the trickiest cucumber of the... There you go. Oh, forget what I said. Something to do with cucumber anyway. Robert Lundgren has had to retire.
It wasn't a reference of Narain Karthikeyan, was it?
Probably not. He's a tricky...
There's a Ferrari in the wall, and it might be... it's a CQR car.
Might be Matt Bunn. Oh, this is a replay of a very damaged Matt Bunn. I just saw that it come up on the screen saying he had an incident, but oh, and that car is absolutely wrecked.
My word.
So and that is the Ferrari that we did see. There's also a boosted Ferrari parked on the inside of turn 1.
It's Roberts, isn't it?
Yeah, it is John Roberts with the green boosted car. The green at the front of the car.
Let's have a look at the biggest movers then. Tiago Pereira, somewhat unsurprisingly, is the one with, well, one of the most positions gained, 15 of them indeed. We saw him have some good pace last couple of weeks. Of course, we do have a World Championship driver in the field, Adam, Matteo Fellini. And he is in 18th place at the moment. He's gained 5 positions. But at the moment, Boggy is trying to gain the most important one of them all.
Might have touched him just a tiny bit there.
Maybe a little bit. You can hear the loss of grip for the BMW.
It's almost as if it's concrete, isn't it, this surface?
I think some of it, I think it is. I think it is.
I think this bit around the fountain might be.
This is definitely a concrete section. I think it might all be concrete, but I must admit I've not quite paid attention enough to really figure that out. But yeah, it's definitely concrete. And it's a low grip surface, and these guys are trying hard.
Over the line.
And once to... It's fast turn 1 here. And then that little crest just catches you out, doesn't it?
Looks like a really fun track to drive, I must say, from what we've seen so far.
Oh, yeah.
don't often have.
Think so,
it's just a rarity in itself. A street circuit on iRacing, as Nicole Foggy does a very good job of nearly destroying our camera there, going through the right-hander. Oh, look how close. He's just taking chunks out of Sutton's advantage for every corner in this middle sector.
The thing is, we know how good the Mercedes is in terms of you know, stability and consistency, and I think that's helping around here. Just out of curiosity, Adam, who's the highest Audi at the moment? Because as Foggy goes again, not quite do it this time, because I think, unsurprisingly, the Audi looks like it's struggling out there.
I've got the car
logos. It's a bumpy circuit. You'd think that car would be terrible around here.
It's Miguel Freitas, the highest Audi. He's in 11th, but he is the only Audi in the top 20. Put it that way.
Yeah, we've seen that's the car we've seen so strong in the series before. The likes of Carl Janssen, of course, who in fact took the title, didn't he? So in that very car, the Audi. I
did see some Audi posts on my various social media platforms, so I'm probably expecting that is the reason why with the balance of performance has changed. Right, 2 minutes to go. It's one of the shorter laps of the circuit season, so this is 2 laps to go, basically.
What I was going to say earlier on, actually, before I think somebody crashed, was that I saw a tweet from iRacing World Championship driver Jamie Fluke earlier on, and he was saying that if he got the choice of going to the BMW instead of the Audi, he would swap 100% of the time.
How seasons have changed.
I know. So maybe the Audi isn't overpowered like they say. To be honest, I think the Audi was overpowered. I don't think it is now. We've seen in this series the balance has shifted massively.
Well, to quote a very popular ITV show, I've been loyal to the BMW, and it looks like it could be paying dividends here as Nicole Foggy is trying to get this lead back, and we didn't really mention
we are on an island this evening.
Yes. Well, will it be an island of love for Nicole Foggy, or a love affair of the World GT Championship? He's sliding his way through the long hairpin, and we didn't really mention it before we went on air, but he's leading the championship by quite some margin. He's
had a long-standing relationship with the World GT Championship. And he's now courting the lead of the race.
This track is definitely his type on paper as they come out of the right-hander.
And it's the lead's playing hard to get at the minute.
Oh. Well, is he going to get mugged off in this final lap of the race? We've got 40 seconds to go, so this is going to be the white flag lap.
I have to say, as much as these two have put on a really good race so far, I would not put it past them to crash into each other, because they have got some history of accidents. Foggy and Sutton, very late defence there. Still much earlier than anything Max Verstappen's ever done.
Oh.
Nearly on the grass is Foggy there.
Yeah, you just saw it get kicked up a little bit. Also, we've got new visuals thanks to iRacing. They have improved the grass, the look of the grass when you run over it. Bits getting
very good. Very, very spectacular that as well. Now onto the run. Here onto the back straight. This could be the last opportunity for Foggy then. Here at the Detroit Grand Prix. But again, it's so narrow through this section. Someone's experienced as Ash Sutton. He's not easily going to get caught out, you'd think.
Oh, and a clip of the curb.
Oh, look at that grill. Right, the grill is right in our grill.
2 corners to go then. I really can't see it unless Sutton hits the wall.
Just a 90 right. It's just the double 90 right. And Ash Sutton is going to come across. He's going to take the checkered flag here at Belle Isle. It's going to be close, but he's going to take it. That's Sutton, British Touring Car Champion. Race 1 winner here at Detroit.
Pretty close here. This is Stuart McFadden versus Ben Gregory with 2 corners to go.
Gregory is spamming the lights. I don't know if it's going to do any good for him, really. Might have to worry about the car behind. Coming over the line. It's going to be McFadden who gets 9th position. Gregory in 10th and 11th. Behind them is the Audi, the aforementioned Miguel Freitas.
Here comes Kieran Roche and Craig Evans. These are pretty close. That was Roche very nearly running into the wall, I think, in the Simmortal car coming across the line.
Yeah, he just get across, nicely done. David White, Michael Blake, pretty close together. Oh, Lee Deemer as well with the CQR S-Line car. In fact, that was very close on the line. I think there was just a 1/10 in it.
Very close.
Who else is still going out there?
That was 20.
Warmingham, Cuomo. That was like a close battle.
Indeed, it is. Yeah, David. Oh no, I'm looking further up. Yeah, Cuomo. Let's get him. There he is.
Just about to come across. In fact, I think they've come across already.
Yeah, just a cut to it. I realised I was on Scenic Camp. Yeah, Cuomo finishing in 36th place, I think. And
then you've got still running. It looks like
Gavin Wakefield.
Wakefield, yeah, he's miles behind.
Well, he's in 40th position. He was a minute and 23 seconds behind the leader, so he was pretty much everything but lapped. He's got Stuart Atkinson in front of him. And it looks like these guys are all cruising, or I say cruising, they are trundling around to finish the race. Gavin Wakefield driving for Youth Energy.
I wonder if that's fuel, maybe.
Indeed, yeah.
Suffering on fuel, possibly. Wakefield. I suppose he doesn't need to push it, really, does he? Because he's the last car. He's the last car still running.
Good thing of reminding me there. Do we have a reverse grid for this?
Oh, no, in fact, he must have been a lap down, Wakefield, because he's not going to...
Oh, he's coming to the
He
pits,
wasn't registering as it, was it? But
yeah, the race is now officially finished, so everybody's crossed the line, so we can bring up the results. We've also got a special prize wheel to do at the end of the evening.
Oh, right.
I think we have to bring someone in for that. I can't remember who.
What's the prize?
There's loads of prizes, but I just can't remember. It's no holidays or anything, I don't think, but I think it's models of cars. I think that is one of the prizes, I think.
Okay.
I think the last time I did the broadcast, which was 2 weeks ago.
To do with Simmortal, then, basically.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's Simmortal, I think. I think it's Simmortal doing the wheel. We'll wait and see later when we get the interviews ready. But for now, we will get the results on the screen as I find the right button. There it is. Hoping that something comes up, which it does. Ash Sutton wins the race, 0.2 of a second ahead of Nicole Foggy in the end. Then it's a further few seconds back to Johnny Brandon, who finished in third with Dave Baker in fourth. A double decker burger here of CQR Club and XVR Sim Racing. You've got two Patties in there. Then it's Youth Energy fifth and sixth, Smith and Gafenku. Then it's Car Triple Eight, Steve Baxter, Josh Thompson in 8th place in the end. He couldn't get by Baxter. We were watching that for most of the race as well. And then it was Stuart McFadden in 9th, just ahead of Ben Gregory in 10th. Car Triple 9 in 11th, that's Miguel Freitas. And then Christian Rose in 12th, 13th Bart Delman, 14th for Pete Harrods. Then Chris Wood 15th, 16th for Mattia Fellini. And then the cars that are in red, which I believe are Pro-Ams. Craig Evans, the highest of them then, I think. Then
yeah,
Simon.
I think that's right.
Then Simon Field, moving on back, it's 19th for Mark Woodhouse, then Tiago Pereira in 20th, Michael Blake 21st, and then David White 22nd. Look how close these gaps are when they got to the line. It's barely a few tenths of a second in them. Lee Deemer in 23rd, Ronald Moons 24th, Jack Stiles 25th, 26th for Lee Woodburn, then Luke Clark, the last car on the lead lap, then Matt Keeber, Adam Hedgecock, Simon Underhill, then Jake Blackhall. He had issues. He was hit into by Richard Warmingham. Both of their races being ruined in that contact that took place after the, well, I believe is the fountain section of the circuit. Then it's Underhill, yeah, Blackhall, Rayfield, Warmingham, Jason Rowe, Scott Malcolm, Stuart Atkinson. Problems for those guys. And then we've got Gavin Wakefield a lap down. Roberts also a lap down. Matt Bunn a lap down. Robert Lundgren, the last car, 1 lap down. Don't know how the World GT Championship rules work in terms of reverse grid, so we'll wait and see what that potentially rewards him if we get a big reverse grid. And then it's Dion Phillips, 3 laps down, Steve Burke, 6 laps down, and Andy Shield, the early casualty when he went wide onto the marbles through the first corner and off into that very unforgiving Armco or concrete wall.
Yeah. And the earliest retirement, I'm surprised we only got 3 retirements, really, 3 proper ones, I think, anyway. So that was a very successful first round of the evening here at the Detroit Grand Prix. And so, yeah, we've got the reverse grid wheel then, have we ready, Adam?
Indeed we do. Let's hope this works. Quickly learning that free screens is the way for the stream. So hopefully I've got this on the right screen. Display 2 on the left, right? Yes, right. Are we all ready then? This is the wheel will appear on the screen in a second. There it is. We've got 14, we've got 36, 28, 20, 34, 26, 18, 32, 24, 16, 30 and 22. So we haven't got any fulls in there, but we do have some sizable numbers. So let's spin it and see who's going to be on the pole.
But you said you haven't got any fools in there.
No fulls.
Fools, I thought you said.
Oh, no full. Oh. Don't suffer fools easily. Oh, it's going to be a small one. Or is it? Yes, it is. It's going to be 20.
20 is going to be Mark Woodhouse.
There you go. Well,
So something to smile about for STP there, for STP Racing, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be on the pole position. Then it's going to be Simon Field in second for Boosted. Then Kieran Roche third, Craig Evans fourth, Mattia Follini going to be starting in fifth for that one. So we'll take a break on Apex Racing TV, and we'll be back in a minute for the second race of the day of the World GT Championship here at the Belle circuit in Detroit. Welcome back to Belle for the second race of the day in the World GT Championship, presented to you by Simmortal and Racehub. We're getting set for the second race. We're just getting underway with the grid. I think the grid have just finished. Just trying to find the live timing so I can get that off your screens. Without further ado, then we'll start rolling towards the start line. Apologies, everyone, trying to get the grid off the screen. There we go. On the pole position then, it's Mark Woodhouse. We're looking at him, and now the safety car is going to come into the pit lane. The green flag will be displayed. And race 2 of the day here in the World GT Championship at Belle is underway. The first corner then, great start by Woodhouse. Oh, few cars very, very close to hitting that wall as we go onto the back straight. Looks like everybody's got away with it. I'm always worried that someone's just going to spear across the track and take everybody with them, but this is probably one of the widest parts of the circuit. We'll have Andrew Woodhouse along in a moment. Are you in?
Yeah, it won't let me get into the session, everybody. I'm trying my best. I'll get there. I'll be there in a couple of minutes.
Woodhouse then. Oh, problem for Chris Woods. Oh, it's a big one. It is a big one. Cars everywhere. There's Fellini, Gafencu, cars exploding, cars flying into tyre barriers. This could be a track blockage, and I wonder if the race organisers are going to throw a safety car because there's literally going to be no way through. The track is blocked.
Oh dear, how have I missed that?
The track is blocked and they don't throw a safety car. Really, guys, honestly.
So what's going to happen is everybody just going to barge their way through until they get to the front there?
Well, I hope. I'm guessing the green flag is still out. Apologies, everybody. I didn't realise that we still had the race info on the screen while that was all happening. But you could have still you could still see it. And Mark Woodhouse is now on his way into the penultimate corner, and on his way to complete the first lap of the race.
So hang on, is Woodhouse ahead by like miles? Is he? Or?
0.4 of a second. It was in the midfield where it all kicked off.
Dear me.
Field in second then, Roche in third, Dennis Evans fourth, Harrod fifth, Rowe sixth, Thompson up 5 positions to 7th, and it's Freitas 8th, Burrell Smith in 9th, and Johnny Brandon rounding up the top 10. Jake Blackwell's already gained 12 positions as well. He's flying as we complete the opening lap, and battles going on here. This is Christian Rose versus Miguel Freitas. And the Ferrari of Rose trying to get past Thompson as well. Freitas is actually just a little bit further behind. Close here, this is Dave Baker trying to get past Pereira. Pereira there in the bright green Mercedes, trying to keep the CQR race of Ferrari at bay. Looking from the back of Tiago Pereira here. Very, very good start. 10 positions gained for the Fitstyle Motorsports car. Runs a little bit wide there, going onto the back straight. This is the opportunity for Dave Baker to get a move done. This is a huge battle for 11th. You can see Foggy is in the mix, and Foggy's going to the outside of Dave Baker. He pulls that off. That's going to be one of the moves of the day. And Baker just sees him at the last minute. Contact, and around goes Dave Baker. Dave Baker is going to have to try and wait for the field to go by. It's going to take a while. Eventually he does so. He rejoins just behind his teammate. That's Matt Bunn. And Baker's now down to 21st position after contact with Nicole Foggy. And I wonder what the stewards are going to say about that one.
So the only thing I can do at the minute is I've got the stream open, so I can have a look at the stream on YouTube.
Right.
and follow it that way. That's the only thing I can really do. I've just seen the accident between the Mercedes and the Ferrari, Baker, and yeah, it's just that's just a typical street circuit coming together, isn't it? Really.
Oh,
Baker ends up with the wrong end of it.
What we're about to see is a whole lot of cars coming out of the pit lane after getting their what looks like fast repairs, and they're having to stay out of the way of the field, the front of the field, that are all coming through. As you can see from the position gains, it's as you were for the top 4.
Yeah.
But from 5th on back, it's anybody's guess.
Oh my, this is like the motorway, isn't it? I've just seen that. It's like being on the motorway. Nobody really knows where to go. Now best to get out of the way.
Josh Thompson's just done a fantastic move on Craig Evans at the end of the back straight. We haven't seen too many of them today. Josh Thompson then through into 4th position. How far is he off from the lead? I can tell you that he is about 3 seconds. So he's got 15 minutes to close that down if he wants to win the second race. And what a shot that is from just from the camera that we've got positioned going into the double 90 right-hander. You can see the cars going into that fountain complex just in the background of the shot and then shooting back out again. Yeah,
that was a terrific move by Thompson, because the course actually narrows on the exit, doesn't it? There's a tyre barrier very, very close to the drivers, and yeah, you had to be careful he didn't run wide. Somebody did run wide just behind them. Oh no, I think it's a lapped car. It was a lapped orange BMW. Yeah, it was a lapped car indeed.
Looking currently at Jack Stiles, who has got a lot of damage to the Fitzstein Motorsports car. He's got David White in the CQR S line in front. Looking from the nose. Is he going to nose his way in front? He's looking up the inside. He's going for it. David White closes the door. Good awareness there by David White. He could see that Stiles hasn't got alongside and was able to close the gap and without making any contact either. So that's good. Oh, battle for third place is on. Josh Thompson's wasted no time up the inside, and he is straight through past Kieran Roche and into the podium positions. We'll have a look at a replay of that because we just caught it at the end. But Thompson, man on a mission. Yeah, Thompson with well, I'm just about to see that move actually now. I've just saw the one, the battle between White and Stiles that you were looking at as well. Yeah, Thompson then. So same move really. Just dove up the inside into turn 7, I believe. Yeah, it was just nice and clean, wasn't it? Riding on board with Thompson, we're going to go for a lap around this Belle circuit. We can see that we've got the top two in front in Simon Field and Mark Woodhouse. It'll be good opportunity to show us how quick Dave Baker is at closing this gap down. Through the 90 right then at the end of the long back straight out of turn 2. Now into the tight and twisty bit where you can really gain a lot of time. This is where we saw our big traffic jam at the start of the race, which miraculously didn't cause a safety car. Now through the right-hander and onto the back straight. I'm going to attempt to join the race again. So I'll give iRacing a few minutes to sort itself out. Thompson, yeah, we'll see what we can do. Thompson just getting onto the brakes now at the end of the fastest part of the circuit, now into the fountain. Or whatever it is. It might be a bandstand, potentially. With a long left-hander now and rejoining the circuit again after that small loop. You can see that Thompson is really on it. We'll bring the timing tower up at the end of this lap so you can see what lap time he did. Oh, you can see the Woodhouse from this camera very nearly hit the wall, and that's given Simon Field the opportunity to potentially take the lead here as we come out of the final corner. Over the line, that is a lap around Belle Isle. And Thompson and Field and Woodhouse are all going at it. It's a BMW 1-2-3. What a fantastic sight that is as Nicole Foggy comes into the pit lane. Foggy in the pits, and the championship leader is in difficulty here. Do we have any idea about what's happened to him? Well, it's nothing too major. He's got a fast repair and he's back on his way again. So at least he's going to score points, you would wager, but he hasn't. Did he manage to avoid that first lap carnage, did he? It might have been. He might have waited for an opportunity till the last possible moment to serve his meatball. That is a good point. To gain some time, you think? Yeah. Try and gain some time on his rivals. Yeah, might be. It's not a bad idea sometimes. While we were looking at that, Josh Thompson's taken the lead. He's managed to pass both Simon Field and Mark Woodhouse. So I don't know how that's happened. We're going to have to rewind back. Well, he's got his overtaking boots on today, hasn't he, Josh? Right, for race 3, I'll make sure that we've got the fast forward back 10 seconds. So I don't have to keep rewinding it. There you go. That's how he got past Field up the inside. He's going to pass 2 cars in 2 corners in a tight and twisty section of the circuit. You'll see that on the YouTube stream in a minute, Woody, but through and on a bit of contact for the wall there for Simon Field. But Thompson, quick as a flash, he's up into the lead. Yeah, brilliant work by Josh Thompson. And he's always exciting to watch, and we're seeing it here again. It looks like I will be joining you in a few seconds. Hey. Camera pack
it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I finally sorted. For those who don't know, I have a new PC. I'm trying to sort all the things out. But I finally got rid of the technical issues that I had last week, and now it's iRacing that wouldn't play ball with me. So typical, isn't it?
Right then, we've got quite a few battles to choose from here. This is Jake Blackhall. He's going up the inside of what looks like Jack Styles going into the right-hander at turn 3 at the end of the back straight, and at the end of one of the straights that we've got here, and that is Styles through. 19 positions gained for Blackhall, one of the biggest movers in the field. I can tell you that he's not the biggest mover. That honour goes to, I think, Dion Phillips and Andy Shield, that both gained 24 places. There's Andy Shield. Looks like he's used the front bumper to get him there, but he has gained 24 places, and so has Dion Phillips, who is the car directly in front of him. Very close between Miguel Freitas and Anwar Smith. You could just see that in the background of the shot. Miguel Freitas is the highest Audi in the field. I was about to say only Audi, but I can't say that for definite. And he sat in 7th position, 2 positions gained thus far as we come across the line. Into the second half of the race now, 9.5 minutes to go. Of course, we've got one more race to go after this one, and we'll have the reverse grid to look forward to there as well. So,
well, I tell you, mate, it's certainly a bit of a change from when there were many Audis in this field in the World GTs.
Oh dear, I think I've just commentators cursed Andy Shield. He's just jumped back to the pits. What happened here? Oh! Here's a replay.
Well, that was very similar to the accident he had in the first race, just a different part of the course.
Hardware failure, maybe? He missed the braking point by a mile.
Could have been a screen freeze. Because, to be honest with you, that's not... Well, it doesn't look like the hardest sort of braking area you've ever seen. So, yeah, it must have been just an aberration. We're looking at Josh Rayfield now. What happened to... Oh, my.
Oh.
Dear me. Oh.
Now, that might have been hardware
failure.
failure.
Got very light on the braking, it looked like, and he just ended up lost the rear, and he tried to get it back. Couldn't quite.
That's kind of reminds me of me when I've had enough of R-Factor or something, just fly off into the wall. But hopefully that's not what happened to Josh Rayfield. And he's done for the day. Very close in the midfield. I can see this battle pack here, which is made up of look, hang on, if I get the battle graphic up, there it is. It's Jack Styles, then it's Luke Clark, then it's Ronald Moons, Kurumo, then Baker and Phillips as well. Baker, of course, on a recovery drive after what happened at the start of the race.
Yeah, and he's doing a pretty good job as well, as is everybody in this little group, to be fair. Luke Clark has jettisoned the Ferrari, which seemed to serve him fairly well actually last season, I thought. But he might have seen the slight drop off of the Ferrari coming, really, because I mean, look at the main one to look at in that is Christian Rose. I mean, he finished 3rd in the championship last season with some great driving. He's just really suffering in this series because of just that lack of confidence that the car's giving him at the moment.
Yeah, Christian Rose right now is... Oh, contact!
Off goes Luke Clark. Oh, bang! Take that!
Well, let's see what happened.
Oh, no! He's gone into the middle of the course, mate.
Well, something's about to happen, yeah, just sort of for press rewind.
You might as well stick with this replay, actually. This is the worst attempt to the spin turn that I've seen in some time.
He went into
Matt Bunn. Is not going to please Matt Bunn whatsoever.
Oh, and he collects a Northern Lights racing car as well.
And very nearly Deemer as well. Is it Deemer or is it Blake?
Look at the damage.
It's Deemer, isn't it? Yeah, that was poor. That was very poor from Clark. I'm sure he'll take a penalty for that. Fellini in the pits.
Yeah, I thought we had a replay of what happened to...
What happened to the Italian, Adam? Was that to do with the first lap?
I don't know, but Steve Baxter's just... Reconnection successful, there we go. Sorry if you lost us for just a brief second there. Don't know what happened, but we're back. But yeah, 5 minutes to go.
Sorry, I am here. I had to sneeze.
All right.
As Rose, we did mention Christian Rose earlier on, actually. He's currently sat in 6th position. And, yeah, looking pretty good for it. Fastest lap of the race, incidentally, goes to Nico Foggy, Adam, 1:27.86.
Now, this is since he got his fast repair.
In fact, the only man in the 27.
This is since he got his fast repair. Just trying to find him on the time series and getting him up. Here he is, 20th place. Even with the fast repair, he's still got a bit of damage to the front end. So I think that's pretty much a given for any car that's racing around here.
Must have been in the walls again, mate, to be fair. He must have had another attempt at destroying the car. Really enjoying the racing here, though, this evening. First time for me seeing... I have watched the Detroit races on TV in the past, the IndyCar races, but, yeah, first time seeing a race on iRacing. Yeah, very good fun it looks like for the drivers. Getting close quarters action, and speaking of close quarters, the CQR car is in our view, and it's Jake Blackhall of Australia taking on Michael Blake. Down the long back straight, Adam. And
we're back again. Oh,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I lost you for a bit there.
3 minutes to go then. And Thompson is coming up to lap some traffic. I thought it was a battle for the lead then.
But it is a battle that he's going to have to fight his way past.
Yeah, and the battle for the runners-up spot is Field. Dicing with death there with that outside wall. And Pete Harrod's got a great run on just in the background. I could see that he was alongside, and he is, with Kieran Roche. Now, this is the best of the rest. Yeah. This is for 4th.
And then behind them is Christian Rose in the Ferrari, and he's getting a good run. The Ferrari's got very good top speed. You can see it coming into play now. As they go into 7. Side by side. Contact! Into the wall, bang!
Oh, this is a trap blockage unless they can get going again.
Oh, no, they're okay.
It's Christian Rose that's done for, I think he's... Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
He needs to stay there now. Oh, dear. I think the old traction control, it's the old traction control business, isn't it? Need to disengage that before you try and get back onto the course. Oh, has he got much space behind? You know, the funny thing is, if he'd have been there for much longer, you know who the next car to come past it is, don't you? There he is, Matt Bunn, who's already been crashed into by a car rejoining the circuit.
It'd just be the icing on the cake if it was his teammate.
His teammate as well. Oh, dear.
Oh, Kieran Roche.
Oh, look at this.
He's the car that collided with Christian Rose, and that's now allowed...
Nicola Cuomo there. Oh, bang! Oh, he's stuck. He's in the wall. He's buried.
The wall's gobbled him up, and he's done.
Dear, it's like it gobbled up that safety car driver the other week.
It was that actual wall, wasn't it? I think
it was.
It might have been the one on the other side. I can't remember. It was exactly that part of the circuit.
Well, he hit something. I know he came over that crest, and I'm pretty sure he went over to the left. Woodhouse driving well. BMW.
It's one of the cleanest. These two of the cleanest cars that we've got on the track, I think, today.
The Field's got a bit of damage on the front left. Woodhouse looks like he's completely clean at the moment. Well, of course, that is a commentator's curse that I'm well aware of. Not just because he's called Woodhouse.
Woodhouses have done pretty well on street circuits, if you can Montreal as one.
Which, for this purpose, I do.
Yeah.
No, it is a street circuit, though. Really, it's public roads. As such, isn't it? Or at least it used to be. I think it's now a permanent racetrack. That's right, isn't it?
I think so. You can make your own stats for anything these days, I think.
Oh, of course you can. I mean, well, anyway, there's a whole several government officials who decide to do that, don't they? Woodhouse and Field. Oh, Woodhouse defending hard now, and with good defence, he'll be able to stay in second place. Field. Oh my goodness!
You could just literally hear the tyres just having no grip at all there as he put his foot down. BMW, one of the most stable cars on the grid here, and it's
all it takes though. We've seen all it takes is one bump to unsettle the car. I mean, look what happened to Josh Rayfield.
One bump is all it takes. Half a lap to go. Checker flag is at the ready for Josh Thompson. It's going to be a BMW 1, 2, 3, 4 as things stand, with an Audi in 5th. Not a Ferrari in sight. As
here is Thompson.
Deutschland über alles. It's a race where it's been good for Germany after a few weeks where it hasn't been in the World Cup. Josh Thompson takes the checkered flag and wins. Look at those lights flashing. He's delighted.
Yeah, Josh Thompson, great battle through. He started in 33rd position, did he, Adam?
In this one?
Is that right?
No. No, he started 11 positions lower than first, which is 13.
12th.
Yeah. There you go.
That is still a great win. That's still a great win indeed. From 12th on the grid. And coming round the final corner, it's Blake. And in front of them is Blackhall and it's O'Connor. Good driving from them. Very close. Very close first. 18th, 19th, 20th as well.
Oh, yeah. Let's have a look at this gaggle. It's 4 in there.
It's Bunn, Evans, Gafencu. And they're coming down the
final corner.
Coming up to the checkered flag now.
Yeah, that's Gafencu.
It's very close.
We've got a 4/10 of a second here. This is Stuart McFadden and John Roberts. It looks like the Roberts might just have got potentially by. Actually, no, maybe not. Here comes Stuart McFadden.
Yeah, Roberts is ahead.
26th for Roberts, 27th for young Stuart McFadden.
Well, this circuit taking its toll. We've certainly lost several drivers in this one.
Credit to Luke Clark. I think that car's just turning permanently left, but he somehow managed to make it turn right to cross the line.
Yeah, he's got some unintentional camber on that. It looks like he'll be glad to get to the end. And and any moment now, we're going to get the results on your screen for you from round 2 of the evening in the World GT Championship. And here they come now. Josh Thompson takes the win. 10 seconds clear in the end. That's an amazing performance by Thompson, man from the Isle of Man. Mark Woodhouse in 2nd place. Simon Field in 3rd. Pete Harrod 4th. Then it's Miguel Freitas, Anwar Smith, Johnny Brandon. And then that gap to the battling pack of Blackhall, Blake and White. Phillips in 11th. And then it was Foggy and Baker. Styles and Warmingham were very close together at the end. Matt Bunn, the funny thing for Matt Bunn was it was a little bit of a race to forget for him, but still finishes decently in 16th. Craig Evans 17th, and then Richard Gafencu just behind him in 18th place.
Moving on back. There you go.
Then down the rest of the order, then Christian Rose 19th, Matt Keeber 20th, Ben Gregory 21st, Tiago Pereira in 22nd, Ronald Moons 23rd, 24th John Roberts, 25th Stuart McFadden, 26th Scott Malcolm, 27th Lee Woodburn and Luke Clark in 28th. Cars 1 lap down were Jason Rowe, Robert Lundgren, Adam Hedgecock and Stuart Atkinson. And the retirements were Underhill, Baxter, Shield, Rayfield, Wood, Deemer, Fellini, Sutton and Gavin Wakefield.
Amazingly, I think the only 2 cars that were properly done were Wakefield and Sutton. I don't know whether that's just because they refused to take part after the initial wreck, but
well,
because they could have towed back and got their fast repair, couldn't they? But
you wouldn't necessarily blame them. Sometimes would you have to get crashed out in one corner? But
you're almost certainly going to be a lap down around this track if you have to tow back to the pits. So
it's a reasonably short lap time, isn't it, compared to some of the places we go to in this series?
Indeed, yeah. So now we've got one more grid to do. Look at that. We've got a water fountain and everything. Looks like someone had botanical gardens, that massive sculpture behind. Right then, time to do this reverse grid for the final race of the day. Last time, there it is. It landed on 20. I haven't moved it since. And we're going to find out who's going to be on pole for the final race. Let's spin it. Oh, it was very nearly 14. It's going to be 36, though.
So 36th would have been Simon Underhill, but as he was 3 laps down, it's going to go to the next man up from that. So effectively, we have a full, and the man at the head of the field will be Stuart Atkinson, who's been promoted onto the 1st position.
There we go. And on that note, we will take a break and we will get set for the final race of the day. And don't forget, straight after that race, we've got a prize draw to do, and that's worth sticking around as well. So yeah, join us after the break on Apex Racing TV for the final race of the day in the World GT Championship.
Welcome back to the World GT Championship with Racehub and Simmortal here at the Belle circuit in Detroit, Michigan. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath here. And Adam, we've enjoyed our first taste of action around these streets. Yeah,
I really enjoyed it tonight. Really exciting track, and even though I bought it just for tonight, it might be worth getting a wheel out. I don't know which wheel it will be because I haven't got one at the moment, and giving it a bash at some point.
Yeah, definitely worth a try. It's a nice circuit, this.
We begin rolling then on the formation lap. It's going to be Stuart Atkinson on the pole for boosted. It's a boosted Savage front row. With Savage with boosted, Adam Hedgecock in second, and then Kieran Roche, Robert Lundgren, Jason Rowe, Luke Clark, Lee Woodburn, Scott Malcolm, Stuart McFadden, and John Roberts. A heavily boosted and mad front rowers. We get rid of the grid. Here we come, getting ready to go for the race.
Let's do it. The green light is on. We are away.
Oh, there's a crash before we even started.
Oh yeah, I can see it. It's in the midfield. There's a car in the wall at the back, in the background, but it's Stuart Atkinson who leads on the way to turn 3. One of the BMWs is within striking distance. Adam Hedgecock, having a look. Adam Hedgecock coincidentally took part in the Majors series, I believe, over the weekend, and I think took a win at the historic British Grand Prix, so well done to him. Oh, 79, oh, into the wall goes a Mercedes. He's trying to keep it out of the way. It's Tiago Pereira, the Portuguese driver. What's that?
Oh, I was going to say, has he been DQ'd already? But I don't know.
No, he steering damage. He smashed the wall. Right.
Oh!
Oh!
That was Hedgecock getting hit by Kieran Roche. It was in the action in race 2. As go for the circuit through the back section.
A little nudge.
Jack Stiles has jumped back to the pit lane as well, so we've got a few cars already there. Jake Blackhall,
Jack
Stiles, and again, yeah.
Sorry, Blackhall, Stiles, and what? Are there any more? Oh, it's
Chris Wood.
I think Roberts may have gone into the wall.
Jason Rowe, pretty close battle here with Stuart McFadden as they come out of the final corner to come across the line to complete the opening lap of the race. It's the top.
Is he going to have a go into turn 1? Yes. On the outside goes Stuart McFadden.
Oh, brilliant.
Nicely done there. And the Mercedes goes through as well. That's Clark.
Yeah, looking from the chopper here. And on the brakes. And Woodburn trying to get by. Sorry, the team out of Jason Rowe trying to get back by, but no way through there. End of the opening lap, then it's Atkinson that leads, Hedgecock second in the BMW, then it's Kieran Roche, Robert Lundgren, Stuart McFadden, Clark, Rowe, Woodburn, Gregory and Roberts. Tough to call a winner out of all these lot then. We've got 17 minutes to decide it though.
Yeah, I was just, I was a little bit quiet. I was just watching, I was just enjoying seeing the cars driving around the circuit because it is one of those tracks, isn't it? It looks exciting, and speaking of which, up the inside, again for Stuart McFadden, and he's on a charge at the moment.
What a move that was. Here it is again. We're going onto the back straight, looking at the roll bar. Got the BMW in front. 4th gear, shifting into 5th.
It looks like he's got the confidence in the Ferrari, doesn't it?
Yeah, haven't seen a Ferrari get too high up the grid in this one. We've got a Ferrari leading though in race 3.
Dave Baker was up in, I think it was 4th, wasn't it, earlier on? Possibly in race 1, was it 4th or 5th? But really, he's the only one who's been anywhere near the front of the field. Atkinson leading, though, he does head the field in the Ferrari. It's that man in 4th, I think, that we're going to have to watch, though.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Stuart McFadden's times. He was the quickest driver, purple lap time on that last lap. We've got the best lap times up on the screen now.
Oh. And there's the youth energy look of Gafencu going round the outside of John Roberts. That was a great move.
Hopefully you all saw that at home. We'll run it back and have a look at it again. Here it is. Looking from the chopper as well.
Get to the chopper.
Roberts covering the inside line, and then the Gafencu Mercedes just on the outside.
Very late on the brakes, but very nicely controlled by Richie Gafencu.
Gafencu's not wasting any time, is he? Here he comes now on Lee Woodburn.
Well, this is into turn 7. the end of the straight.
Picking them off.
Yeah, and he's cleared him, nicely done. And that might allow Roberts a little run on Woodburn, but say a little run, it is that Adelaide feel to this section, isn't it? Where it's one line through a lot of these corners.
Wonder if we'll see any Schumacher Hill moments here.
Oh God, no, maybe not. Well, we've seen a couple already in this race meeting so far. The BMW is in play. You can see just behind.
Oh yeah,
that's Gregory, isn't it?
Yes, it is. There it is. There's Ben Gregory. He's in a free car scrap here. He's got Jason Rowe just in front of him, and he's got a Youth Energy just behind him. He's very close for the lead. I think we've got to go for it. Look at this.
Oh! Well, Hedgecock's taken the lead. Thompson sets the fastest lap down in 20th.
Atkinson's gone from first to fourth.
Atkinson has been absolutely freight trained there. Oh, and there's a bit of contact behind. It's getting super, super close.
Was that Rowe that was getting hit?
We've had 5 minutes of racing, Adam, and still 10 seconds separates 22 cars out there.
Right, here's what happened. Maybe the chopper will be good for this again. It's the best camera. Right.
Oh.
Atkinson gets forced out wide. Then the BMW goes to the outside. Oh, and then Atkinson has a tank slapper, doesn't he, on the exit, and that's just killed his straight line speed down the back straight, and that's how he goes from first to fourth. Dion Phillips has jumped to the pit lane. What's happened to Dion? We'll go out to find out. This is going into the right-hander after the back straight. Oh! And that was enough to break the front left. You wouldn't think it, but yeah, amazing how much damage those concrete walls can do.
Oh yeah. No safer barriers here, it looks like. Not many. Anyway.
There we go. Right then. Top three. Hedgecock, Roch, and McFadden. When's Stuart McFadden going to get these two then? He's quickest of both of them on that last lap, and here he goes.
I think my R Racing's had it, unfortunately, Adam.
Oh, right, okay. I just wondered what the silence was, but yeah.
No, my screen's flashing, it's like strobe lighting in here.
Ah, right. Third floor of a particular nightclub I go to in Manchester. Yeah, Stuart McFadden's...
I've seen much less strobe light nightclubs than that.
There was some strobe lighting in the Pink Floyd concert I went to on Saturday night.
Oh, there you go.
That was a very good day. England win on Saturday. England were into the semi-finals at that point, and yeah, Pink Floyd concert in the evening. Then in the British Grand Prix, and then the British Grand Prix on the Sunday.
British Grand Prix was very good as well. I know we need to talk about the action on the second, but yes, the British Grand Prix, the second half of it was some of the best racing I've seen all year, really.
It was interesting to see. I was stood for the start of the race with some Ferrari fans. They were Italian. They were Italians as well. So it was. You could even understand the colourful language that they were saying when Hamilton, when they found out that Hamilton was still in the race after his contact with Raikkonen, which I'll tell you after the race. But here comes the battle for the lead then. Stuart Atkinson versus Adam Hedgecock. Josh Rayfield's out of the race. Something's happened. We will quickly look at it here. Oh, he's come into the pits. That's what's happened. We'll go back to Stuart McFadden then. We're going to look from the rear of Adam Hedgecock. He's got 12 minutes to defend from the Ferrari.
How's Thompson doing? Because he was moving up the field to about 20th place when I last looked.
Oh, McFadden nearly dicing with disaster there. He put two wheels on the grass and then he somehow was able to hold it. Josh Thompson, I'll have a quick look for you now. He's sat in 13th position, 22 places gained.
Wow.
And here he is. He's in what is a huge gaggle. I think it's the first gaggle of the evening that we've looked at. It's literally a huge train from what starts with Johnny Brandon. Then it's Richard Warmingham, then it's Thompson. And then quite a few others. Jason Rowe is also coming under pressure from one of the XVR cars. That's Nicole Foggy. And it's not going to be the first time that Foggy's collided with a Ferrari today if he does hit Jason Rowe. Rowe is really holding him up big time, and Foggy's not wasting any time. He wants to get through, and he's done it in the Adelaide part of the circuit, really, where we don't really see too many overtakes, so he's a man in a rush.
Yeah, Foggy's about... Well, he was about a second a lap quicker than Jason Rowe. He Showed there.
Lee Woodburn's just gone head on into the wall, and that's surely too much damage and surely a meatball flag, but he's carried on. This was just after he got passed by Nicole Foggy, and sorry, not by Nicole Foggy, it was by Jason Rowe, and this could end in disaster here. We are 3 wide going into the first corner. It all sorts itself out in the end with a bit more contact with the wall, and all of a sudden it's becoming a front 3 battle for the lead again. Kieran Roche is closing in on Stuart McFadden, who is now starting to get hindered a little bit by Adam Hedgecock, and we've still got half the race to go, so there is plenty of time for McFadden to get it done, but he just doesn't want to take too many unnecessary risks at this moment in time. Down the back straight. The BMW Hedgecock here doing a great job. Oh no, commentator's curse, he's on into the wall! He's out! Well, he's not out, but the car is severely damaged, and here comes everybody around the right-hander. They are surely going to have to, they're all going to have to dart out of the way at the last minute. The spotters will tell them that he's in the middle of the track, and it looks like that for the most part everybody has paid attention, but Stuart McFadden takes the lead after what can only be a... Oh no, what are you doing, man? And that's just made it even worse. Stuart Atkinson reverses back onto the racing line and takes a few others with him. Here is what happened then. We're on board. We'll have a few more angles, I think. He takes the inside curb and just clobbers it and goes head on into the wall.
Oh dear.
I'll have a look at it again. It's from the chopper this time. Yeah, you see, he takes too much curb and goes into the tyre barrier. McFadden collects a bit of him. Hopefully that hasn't done too much damage to the Scotsman, but yeah, what a nightmare, and a Mercedes just gets a little bit of the BMW as well. See any of that on the YouTube stream, Woody?
I was just having a few issues again. I'm afraid with yeah, my iRacing just does not work at the minute at all. So I'm going to watch the. I'm just going to watch the stream, I'm afraid. Sorry about that, everybody. But yeah, it's I don't know what's going on there really.
Right then, 2 teammates, Nicole Foggy, Luke Clark. Oh, Foggy, is he going to make the corner? He somehow does. The Armco barrier does lurch out. I'll tell you one American street circuit that it's just come to mind that I'm sad that we don't race on anymore, because I thought it was quite good, and it was as Foggy nearly goes into the wall. I've actually forgotten the name of it, but when it comes to me, I'll Baltimore. That's it. That was the one I thought was good.
Oh yeah, Baltimore. That was good.
Nicole Foggy.
I think this actually could be the best one though.
Yeah.
I really like this one because you can actually overtake. It's more of a Montreal than a Monaco.
Look how wide the circuit is, especially on the exit of turn 2. It's like almost a proper Grand Prix circuit here as Nicole Foggy closes in on Stuart Atkinson. Mercedes, well,
it wouldn't need a hell of a lot of. It probably wouldn't need a hell of a lot of changes to the circuit to host something like Formula 1, actually. Oh yeah. The straights are maybe a tiny bit too short for F1, but
Formula 1
fun.
Has raced in Detroit. Oh, Foggy into the wall. Tiny bit, and this is all in the urge to get by Stuart Atkinson. Atkinson makes a right mess of the right-hander, and now here comes Foggy. He surely will be up into 4th place.
He already had a lot of damage on the front of the car, and I believe I'm shortly going to see just what ailed Nicole Foggy there. Oh yeah, well, to be honest, he was trying to force a move that wasn't there. And Stuart Atkinson very correctly held his ground. Goodness me.
Just looking from the gearbox of Stuart Atkinson as Luke Clark goes up the inside. Oh! And a bit of afters. That's Luke Clark up into 5th. Atkinson down to 6th place. Car's all sorts of over the place. I wonder if there's damage to it, because it's not working in the same way that it was working at the start of the race. Oh, he's been quarter panelled into the wall by one of the Mercedes. That is game over.
It's just sloppy. I mean, you've clearly got a pace advantage, and yet you've got to. I'm just going to say it again. see it now. As he, yeah, I'm sure he'll have damage after that contact with Foggy because. Yeah. I mean, well, in fairness, he didn't give the most room, did he?
No.
To the Mercedes that was coming past. I'm not exactly sure who that was. Was it Warmingham?
No,
It probably is Warmingham because he always seems to get the worst of everything, doesn't he? The crashes and things.
It was definitely one of the XVR cars, we'll put it that way. So it was a combination. It was either Luke Clark, Johnny Brandon, or Richard Warmingham. It probably was Warmingham, to be fair. Right then, it's time to talk about your man, Josh Thompson. He's right behind Dave Baker here in 8th and 9th position. This battle is now. We've got Andy Shield also up there. Andy Shield is the biggest mover in the field, with 28 places gained. So 2 CQR and Fabrications here, driving for 2 different cars. Driving 2 different cars. Mercedes for Shield, BMW for Thompson. And they're closing on the CQR racer Ferrari of Baker here. I should just reiterate that Stuart McFadden, our race leader, does have a 1.5 second advantage, so you're missing nothing at the front.
Just having a look at the gains that have been made, actually. Andy Shield, 28 places gained. Bart Dowman has made 25 places as well. Car's hitting the wall left, right and centre though, isn't there? Shield's been in the wall again.
Yeah, Shield's just behind Josh Thompson, who we're riding on boards with. He's lost a bit of time as a result as Shield, because Thompson's now got a little bit of a healthy advantage that he can now use to pursue Thompson in front. And Thompson could be getting held up by Baker. Well, saying that, Baker could in turn be getting held up by Warmingham. This is a battle that could literally explode in the next few laps as we go into the final 3 minutes of the final race of the day here at Belle. And this group starts with Nicole Foggy's heavily damaged Merc. There he is. Then it's Clark. Then it's Brandon. Then it's Warmingham. Then Baker. Then Thompson. And then Andy Shield, who's dropping a bit further behind. So XVR versus everybody else, it looks like. XVR versus CQR Racehub versus CQR Fabrications. Oh, and into the wall goes Clark. Surely that Mercedes can only take so much more of that before it starts getting wheel damage.
He's been in the wall so many times tonight, Luke Clark. Yeah, I wouldn't like to be paying those repair bills.
Lee Woodburn has come into the pits for some reason. I think, is he just going to hit the wall? I think I can see what's coming. It's that corner again. It's that penultimate corner where we've seen so many cars hit the wall.
Well, that's what happened to Luke Clark, wasn't it?
Looking at Simon Field, he's about to jump back to the pits as well. Is he going to hit a wall and break the left front? Yes, he is. Oh, and then he hits the other wall. Oh, and he gets hit by a Youth Energy car. That's Anwar Smith, I think. You'll see it on the stream in a minute, but I'm
just finding out what's happened to Lee Woodburn. Oh yeah, just made. Because the thing is, you feel so bad about that because it's such a pathetic accident to have, but such an easy one to have. And then now we'll see what happens to Simon Field. Oh, bang! Yeah. Oh, take that. And Anwar Smith, there's nothing he could do at all about that. He didn't realise that car was going to spear across the circuit. This is what I like about this track, though, mate. It's not like the most difficult street circuit you've ever seen, but it's one where you will push that little bit too hard and you will make a mistake, and there's no... The track's just not forgiving in that respect. Oh yeah, Brandon goes by Clark for... Well, Brandon did go by Clark about 30 seconds ago for 5th place. Yeah,
it's no Macau, although there are some Macau tendencies in it, because we've got this...
Yeah, the longish straight.
Long straight, and then we've got that really tight and twisty section with a few hairpins in that. Definitely not the same amount of elevation that Macau has. Now that would be a track that I think I'd be dreaming if iRacing had that in. Other side of the world for the iRacing team, based in Boston. Macau, literally, you'd have to spin the globe around to find it. 1 minute to go, just over 1 minute to go, and this battle pack just continues. I hear more cars hitting the wall. Oh, and another XVR green car hits it. That's Luke Clark. He's got Richard Warmingham for company. Clark is exactly in the position where he started the race as well. So
how many incident points is he on by now?
don't think I can tell you on the iRacing, on the live timing app, unless I get the sim open and look for you.
It's all right. I know there's been issues with that this week.
Been a great deal, many probably, of incident points.
Oh yeah, I just seen that again. Bang.
We get to line, we're going to be starting the final lap of the race. It is also pretty close between Miguel Freitas, one of the few Audis in the field, and Matt Bunn himself. He's sat in 13th place. He's got David White behind him too. Oh, faults the curb going through the penultimate corner, and there's a very sideways Mercedes. That's Craig Evans, and he could be now about to get passed by an Audi, which isn't something we've seen too much of today. Having said that, Freitas is one of the biggest movers in the field, 19 positions gained, so the Audi is able to get overtakes done, but it's just not being able to get to the front. If the reverse grid went in Freitas' favour tonight, I wonder if we could have seen an Audi take a victory.
Well, I mean, again, I just don't think it suits the Audi, this circuit. It's been a bit temperamental over the bumps.
Oh, that's a poor line. Just about avoids the wall. Does Craig Evans. And now it's kicking off. Here comes Matt Bunn. Contact between him and Freitas. Bunn, oh, I thought he was going to take him out then. But I think we're going to have to cut to our winner in a minute. Stuart McFadden, he seems to do very well in race threes. Bunn is dive bombing. It's dive bomb o'clock here at Belle Isle. Oh, and they're both into the wall. And Freitas gets impaled on the concrete barrier as Stuart McFadden comes out of the final corner to win at Belle Isle here in Detroit. Second for Kieran Rush and third for Ben Gregory. And I'm guessing you're just about to see the Freitas collision on the YouTube stream.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a look at that now. End of the straight. Matt Bunn says, I'm having that position. And, oh, dear me. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, isn't it, really? It's a bit messy between them.
David White coming through the final corner. Oh, spins! Oh, and he takes a Simmortal car with him. Now that was Ronald Moons. Oh, and it's stuck together. Ronald Moons gets going again, and David White's going to have to do a 3-point turn in the middle of the circuit.
Are they going to make it to the finish?
Oh no, he's towed. He's towed. Oh, is he? I don't know. Yeah, I think he's just towed. Either that or he's been DQ'd. One of the two. I think it might be DQ'd, you know, because it says he hasn't jumped to the pit. Couldn't help that he was forced to go the wrong way. See who else is coming across the line then. We've got Scott Malcolm here. He's coming across the line to take 29th place. Steve Baxter might have... Oh no, Steve Baxter's been out for a while, I think. Over the line goes Malcolm to take 29th place. Here comes Gavin Wakefield, 30th. John Roberts, 31st position. And that is it. It's quite... It didn't take too long for us to finish everybody there. Oh. Right then. Let's get those results up. After what has been a fantastic race meeting here, and I'm sure the drivers will reciprocate when we get them in for some interviews.
I think it's been very good. Very, very good. And I eagerly await our return to this course next time.
Definitely. Hopefully, if the BSR GT are there, I don't know whether that means BSR TC will be heading there on Thursday night. As far as I'm aware, we are going to Mosport for that series. But if the World GT race is a success here, usually the BSR TC is as well. But the race results are now up on your screen. Race victory for Stu McFadden, second for Kieran Roche, second for Ben Gregory, I should say. Don't remember Ben Gregory finishing in second. My results say he finished in third, but we'll gloss over that. Nicola Foggy finishing in fourth place. Fifth is oh, hang on, it's all going wrong here. Fifth is Johnny Brandon, sixth Luke Clark, seventh Richard Warmingham, eighth Dave Baker, ninth Josh Thompson, and 10th Andy Shield. 11th for Craig Evans, 12th Matt Bunn, 13th place finish for Michael Blake, then Pete Harrod, Simon Underhill finishing in 15th. It could have been much different if he hadn't finished more than one lap down. I think he would have been on the pole for the final race if he hadn't have been. Then it was Miguel Freitas in 16th place, so he did manage to make it to the finish in the end. And then 17th for Anwar Smith, and then 18th for Mark Woodhouse, then Richard Kafenku, then 19th for Mattia Fulini, then Jason Rowe 20th, 21st for Ronald Moons, then 22nd Matt Keeber, 23rd for Bart Delman, then Lee Deemer, Christian Rose, Adam Hedgecock, Scott Malcolm, Gavin Wakefield, John Roberts, and then the cars that didn't finish the race. David White, 1 lap down, Steve Baxter a lap down as well, Chris Wood 2 laps down, Simon Fields 3, he was up in that lead group for quite a while, Lundgren 4 laps down, Stuart Atkinson 5 along with Lee Woodburn. And then towards the rear of the field, Josh Rayfield 7 laps down, Dion Phillips, Jake and Jack both out, Blackall and Styles, and Tiago Pereira finishing 14 laps down in the end.
Well, a lot of drivers bit the dust tonight, didn't they? But I think there were a lot of them were genuine mistakes, weren't they? It wasn't a great deal of silliness out there, I didn't think.
Now, one person that's definitely had to fight his way through silliness to get some pretty good race results and a race victory in race 2 is Josh Thompson.
Yeah. So after race 1, I thought I'd thrown away my championship. Not a bad comeback, really.
Well, we've loved it here tonight. How was it out there on the battlefield in sense?
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't too bad, actually. Race, obviously qualifying, I knew the Mercedes had a massive advantage in qualifying. As you saw with Brandon, nowhere near in practice. Comes to qualifying, Mercedes go fast. But absolutely fantastic job. I just never hit the lap. But now race 1 was my own undoing. I got to slow down at the start, dropped me back into the packet. It was just so hard to get through. I had a little incident with warming up. It wasn't too bad, but I had 2 with Phillips, so I apologise for those ones. But just one of those racing things really has got caught out. But the other 2 races, can't really fault them. Kept my head to myself, just did my own thing and worked out quite nicely.
Looking at race, go on.
Sorry, I was going to say, it looks on paper like a track that the BMW should be well suited to. Is that what you found today?
All right, around here, BMW race, yes. Qualifying, no. But the qualified pattern you'll see all season. The Merc finds about 6 tenths in qualifying. And me, Ash, and all the BMW drivers, we were running like max fuel in qualifying because of the traction. That's the only issue with the BMW. It's horrific comes to qualifying. Like, if I could have started on the front row, I think I could have battled Ash for the win, which would have been a completely different story. But looking back, would I have then the chance of winning race 2? Probably not, because I've been caught in the crash. Yeah. So all things happen for a reason. So I'm happy with the results, and I think I've come out top point scorer. So again, big chunks towards the championship after having 2 DNFs at the start.
It wouldn't surprise me that you're the top point scorer.
Yeah, but well, Ash would have been, but obviously he didn't do the last race and was out in race 2. Nicole, Anwar all had a trouble race. Anwar didn't finish the last one, and Nicole had a near the back in race 2. So I think I only finished 5 places behind him. So I obviously gained even more. Really, I didn't lose that much.
I'm just looking at where we're heading to next. As far as I'm aware, I think we're at Interlagos. We are from one good track to another, I think. Yeah,
especially for me, one of my best tracks. Obviously, I've not raced there since Pro Series and the GPS round. So we're just seeing how the GT3s are around there, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to dial it in. Done some work already in advance of that for Interlagos, because I'm using endurance, and it suits how I set the cars up. I usually set them up for a long haul, so hopefully with the endurance can just get to the front and just control it from there, really.
Well, it's probably one of my favourite circuits on iRacing to watch anyway. And this is probably this one here at Belle Isle has gone up there as well. So
at least you can overtake it into Lagos. That's the thing. Belle just sitting. But I managed to show a few moves around, but even I was like, this is just impossible.
I always thought, run out of junk out. I always thought that it was in the BSRTC. Okay, I'm using BSRTC as an example.
Dear. Dear.
Wait till we get to Interlagos for that one, I think. That's later in the year. But before we let you go, God help us, I think, if BSRTC comes here anyway. Before we let you go, Josh.
I think it is. I think it is, so I'm a bit scared.
Oh, on Thursday?
No, not this week. I think it's 2 to 4 weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll wait with trepidation for that one. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Yes, obviously Matt and the admins, great job as always. You guys for broadcasting, very good as always. CQR, everyone in the team, just obviously managed to get a clean sweep for the win tonight.
Brilliant. Well, well done.
Well done.
Yeah, and thanks for taking the time and coming to speak to us.
Yeah, no worries. See you later, guys.
Josh Thompson there.
Oh, it's always good to hear from Josh, and you know he did go through those highs and lows, didn't he? Of thinking, like I say, thinking he was out of the running, so to speak, and then that sort of euphoria of race 2 definitely it all came back to him. I think we should speak to Stuart McFadden because he did take the final race of the day. I'll leave that one to you because I didn't actually see much of that last race.
Okay, Stuart McFadden, well done. Race victory again, and I think it's in another race 3. He seems too well in those reverse grid races.
Yeah, the reverse grid races are usually quite fun. It gets me, because I don't really have a lot of time to practice due to various things I do. Yeah, I just kind of dial myself in through the races, so my races is kind of my practice. So kind of when I get to race 3, it's the last chance I've got, and it just seems to all click together. I don't know what it is.
You managed to get up to 4th place pretty quickly, but then you had those 3 fighting cars in front of you, and I think within the space of 2 corners, you were able to get the lead straight away.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously Kieran's. I don't know what was up with Kieran, but I mean, not his driving or anything like that, just his internet. Because I don't know if you saw it in the broadcast, but he was jumping all over the place. He's 1 minute he was on the barrier,
yeah.
and next minute he was on the middle of the track coming in a corner. And I was a bit tentative to start with because I didn't want to ruin my race, and I was like, right, if I take 3rd place here, it's good points, and I can go forward from here. And then he kind of calmed down a wee bit, and then that's when I kind of made my move. When at the part of the track where it wasn't too bad, but I knew I had the pace to win in race 3, so I didn't try and force it because obviously I knew I had the pace in the car. So I just want to thank all the guys for the respect and giving me room and stuff like that. I know it's a really tight street circuit, but yeah, great respect in that race.
Yeah, well, it was going okay for you in race 3. Race 1 wasn't the best start to the evening from what I saw anyway. I think you were involved in a bit of contact in the very early stages there.
I honestly can't remember.
Neither could I. It comes and goes, really.
I don't know. I mean, I think race 1. Well, no, race 1 I got 9th. I made my way. I just kind of. Oh, race 2 I got myself in some really bad contact, and then I just wanted to go and just see what the car was like. So I just went in for a fast repair and just see what the car had, which probably gave me the pace in race 3 because I kind of knew what the car would do. But yeah, just a big thank you to all the CQR guys. Honestly, we're working so much in sync now, and it's showing that we've got 3 wins tonight in all 3 different teams. I think. I hope. Oh, but yeah, we're just all working it. The past few weeks we kind of haven't been. But now I think we're kind of starting to gel, and it's obviously show with the 3 wins, and I hope we continue that through the season and hopefully back into BSRTC as well, because we really need to start striving towards the end championship.
Next week then for this series, it's Interlagos. We're asking what Josh Thompson thought of that circuit and a track that you like well. Do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely love Interlagos. It's a great track to 1 overtake, and just a great track to 1 race on and 2 qualify on, because there's so many. It's so technical. You can just build up a nice flow around the track. So I can't wait to go. I think it's endurance as well. So see how that goes.
Okay, so we're gonna have a 1 hour-and-a-half race there. So that'll be interesting.
I think it's 2 hours now. I think it's
is it 2 hours? I think is this the first endurance race of the season?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we'll look forward to that one.
Yep.
You've pretty much done the shout out in the previous answer, so we'll wrap that up. Well done on the win, and
thank you very much.
yeah, hopefully chat to you again next week.
Yeah, I'll be pushing hard as for it. But the Fry should suit Interlagos a lot better than what it does Belle Isle, because it's such a pig to drive. It just doesn't have the grunt out of the corners like it has with the Merc, because you could probably see it in race 1 with Ash and Nickel. Nickel gets such drive at the corners. It's just a grunt that the Merc has, and then that's why it's so good around this track. Obviously, the drivers that are driving that are also very, very fast, but the Merc is kind of suited to this track because it's a stop-start. He needs that initial grunt to get out the corners. So the Fry lacks that. That's where it's lacking.
Yeah,
the Ferrari. Yeah. A lot of the Ferrari drivers don't seem like they're particularly enamoured with the car this year, but you're making the most of it well. So
I like
love the rest of it.
Driving a car that's not underperforming. I love it. I mean, obviously, I'd love to have a kind of OP. Well, I wouldn't have an OP car, but I'd have a decent car that I could kind of fight for race 1 wins and stuff like that. But I'm happy in the Ferrari. I'm happy where I'm in it, and I like the challenge of trying to bring it up the front.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Stuart, for joining us in the commentary box, mate. And no doubt we will see you again very soon indeed.
Yeah, sure. See you guys on Thursday.
See ya.
Bye.
We've just got Ben Gregory here as well. Ben, just a quick one, really. We've not had you in the commentary box for quite a while, mate.
Well, it was Watkins Glen last, wasn't it?
How did it go tonight? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, it's the best track I've driven. It's so good. Yeah, race 2 was a bit of a mess. I'm surprised there was no safety car, honestly, with that big crash. But yeah, other than that, at least 2 top 10s, 1 podium. I think that I did the right.
Well, it does look like a hell of a lot of fun out there, and look like the BMW was well suited.
Oh, definitely. Like, it just slides perfectly through the corners and takes the curves really well. There's a couple of bits I was a bit worried about, but good. It was a bit tanky as well, so I can clip a couple of walls and be a little bit happy as well, which is nice.
Good. Well, we enjoyed the racing so much. We were saying on the stream that this is the first broadcast we've done around here, and I think it's a bit of a new favourite for us. So I think next time we come here, it's going to be great. A World GT Championship, it always does some close racing, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. Like the fact that it was pretty much nose to tail for the first 2 laps and all 3 races was impressive. It's just, this track really does make some proper racing, especially with the class of the field we've got as well. I'm just hoping that it gets better next time we come here, hopefully.
Well, we hope to see you up at the front next time. But yeah, thanks for coming to talk to us, Ben.
Right, cheers.
Ben Gregory there, Adam, and another very happy BMW man like yourself.
Yeah, very happy. That was a great race meeting for the BMW. I'm very intrigued to see how it's going to go at Interlagos next week. Completely different circuit, plus it's going to be an endurance race as well. So different mindset for these drivers too. Just the 1 race as opposed to the 3 we usually have. So it's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Oh, it will indeed. And we'll be looking forward to bringing you all the action here on Apex Racing TV. So, yeah, that's just about all we've got time for now. We will be back in a few short hours when the Ritmatech Sports Car Series will kick off. That will be at 1:15, 1:30, something like that, in the morning. That will be beginning there. So, yeah, join myself and Adam for that. And then tomorrow night, BSR MX5 Cup returns. It's the Summer Cup now, and that will be around here. Is that around here as well, I believe?
The GT's there. It should be here as well. It might be at Mosport, because that's where the BSRTC is, but we'll wait and see. Ritmatech's at Phillip Island, by the way.
Ah, there you go. Come from a land down under. See how those guys get on in just a few short hours' time. So from all of us here at Apex Racing TV, thank you very much for joining us here on this Monday evening. And yeah, if you can't sleep, or if you're a bit of a night owl, come and join us for the Ritmatech from Phillip Island. So from all of us here, it's good night for now.